All right. So there's no doubt that data is interesting. However, data at scale, Unity scale across billions and billions of devices, hundreds of millions of games, that's when insights really become fascinating. So Unity loves sharing this type of insight and data with our developers. So what I thought we'd start with today is just 3 of those insights about the Korean market specifically. First of all, 500 million installs. Over this amount of time, over the last 6 quarters, there have been 500 million Unity-built games installed in Korea. Incredible not just about the scale of the market, but the continued growth rate, speaking not only to the strength and importance of this market to Unity, but more importantly, the impact that each of you have made on game players, both small and large. Secondly, 90 million. We've seen 90 million unique devices in Korea over the last year. And not only can you look at what devices were popular, that might be data that's available in other places, we've actually mapped this data to how it performs in the wild. And what that means is we can see at the component level what is doing well, what is not, really where you should focus your optimization and potentially your development efforts. And finally, 25 million. This is the number of installs that Unity-built Korean games have seen outside of Korea. And last year, it speaks to how the world is starting to recognize the importance of Korean-built games. You can see China had a really big influence last year. Starting this year, we're on a trajectory to even exceed what we saw last year, but the rest of the world is starting to recognize this as well. The opportunity for Korean-built Unity games is truly global, and it's something that we here at Unity really want to encourage. However, data for data's sake is not what we wanted to talk about today. We wanted to use data for something much more personal to you, much more directly applicable in what you're trying to do on a day-to-day basis. And that's build games that are fun, right? It's how you know you're successful. If you've built a successful game, everything about it is fun, and all the success will come from that. So you've probably never thought about using data to generate fun and understand how to improve it. But what I want to do today is show you how our platform, a couple new features that we're announcing, are integral to not only understanding fun, but on a day-to-day basis, making it better. So we're going to use a real-world example. We're going to start with Mark, our product manager for Unity Analytics. Say hi, Mark. Yeah. And Dr. Panda, which if any of you have kids, I'm sure you're familiar with, but it's a leading game out of China for the young education market, and it's been taking the world by storm. So let's take a look at the assets specifically. And this is the opening scene. And we hit play, we'll see an adorable floating panda, a Halloween theme, which is kind of a US thing, and generally a really kid-focused experience. So we recently launched this game in Korea, and we want to see how it's doing. How do we get access to some data? Let's show you by integrating Unity Analytics. So Mark, can you integrate Unity Analytics? So if you missed that, by clicking that one button, you now have access to the entire Unity Analytics package. No code to write, no SDKs to manage, no libraries that colliding. Literally, now you have data flowing, and you can see with our validator as it happens in real time. However, just data for data's sake, like we talked about, is not enough. Let's actually analyze that data. Let's go to the Data Explorer and take a look at what we're seeing when it comes to early retention of our users. Mark, maybe you can put up a line for where we launched in Korea. And we can see, as we've done that, it looks like our retention is dropping for some reason. It makes sense to probably look at this data both in terms of US and Korea. Mark, can you pull that up? And you can see without having to write any code or doing any additional analysis, we can now see the two separated side by side, and it's super evident that for some reason we're not engaging the Korean audience. What can we do about this? What we'll need to do is to collect some data specific to the game. We'll need to collect custom data that is deeply ingrained in the game so we know what the actual problem is. And that's been a problem in the past. How do we know what to collect, what code to write, and ultimately if we've done it right or we've collected everything that we need? To answer that question today, we're announcing a new feature called standard events. Standard events, if we can throw that up there, are us having done the work for you. We've done the thinking that actually breaks apart what it means to be fun into 5 different categories, and we have very specific metrics attached to each one of these. So not only do you not need to think about what you should be collecting, you don't even have to write any code. So let's show you how standard events works in the editor. Mark, can you pull that scene back up again? Cool. So what you can see here is the standard events is actually a component now. We can grab any object, pull up the event tracker, and maybe just show all the different standard. Those 5 categories, metrics attached to each one. We've built a dictionary of everything that you need to implement in your game. And why don't we talk about progression since we're having issues there. Level complete. By clicking on that, you'll see that the event tracker is broken up into 2 different parts. The first is a trigger. What triggers the actual event is actually specific to your game. What does it mean to complete a level? It could be kill the big boss, it could be 50 coins, it could be a certain timer. In your game, you can set the trigger without having to write any code. And then the second part allows you to attach metadata to that event. What was the name of the level? What did it mean to complete that level? This is all data that you can then use again later and not having to think about, oh, I shipped the game, forgot to do this, now I need to redo this. So let's see how this data could be used. Why don't we cruise over to the funnel analyzer? And this is that level complete event in action. What you're seeing here is the US user, a nice steady progression, level by level, challenging but not too challenging, engaging the user, and making sure that they have fun. However, if we pull up the Korean funnel, looks really different. What's going on here? What you're seeing here is a really bad first-time experience. As soon as they get into the game, people are bouncing. And then actually people who make it through are not being challenged at all and basically passing through the entire game in the first shot, leading to a really bad retention rate. So what do we need to do? We need to fix this. We need to change the game for the Korean user. We need to ship that game. And we need to affect change in a way that's never been possible before. So this is a process that typically takes a lot of time. It could take a week just to get the code written. Another week to get it into the store, approved, and actually have people adopt it. Finally, if you've done something wrong, it could be months before you actually have a fix, and by that time the game could be over. We want to help you with this. We want to help you with taking the insights that you found in analytics and acting upon them immediately. And today, we're announcing a feature to do exactly that. It's called Remote Settings, and what it does is abstracts away some of these controls into the cloud and allows you to control it on a one basis for your user. Super easy to integrate, and actually, let's show that first. One line of code pulls down exactly what the settings are for that device at any point in time. We're hosting these in the cloud. You have that one line of code. And let's just put in an if so we can say what kind of theme you want to show, right? We have the Halloween theme. Maybe there could be some other themes based on some controls that we put in the game. So we got Halloween, we got Christmas. Let's go to the dashboard where all of this is now controlled. And you can see under seasonal theme, it's currently set for Halloween. A holiday that's not really celebrated here, but I've been here in Seoul for Christmas, and that is an experience, right? I think we can all recognize that. So why don't we try Christmas? Let's try our Christmas theme. Hit save. We now sync it. And the next time any user in Korea goes to the game, they're going to see a completely different experience. Bypassing any need to submit to the App Store, write any code, you can make changes like this on the fly, test your hypotheses, fix aspects of your game without any friction. And it's not just simple things like strings, but we can actually pass in more complex data structures. Why don't we go to the level scene? Okay. And so maybe this was the cause of the lack of difficulty in the game. Maybe this level was just one pass through, nobody was having an experience here. But because we can parse this, we can actually go back and grab JSON, take a JSON blob. Here's another one. Let's change the tiles that are in that map, paste it in, send that back up to the cloud. And the next time anyone plays this game in Korea, they're going to see a completely different level. Popcorn machines, more clouds, whatever you want can be changed on the fly. And you can see, if we go back to our example, that the results are tied directly back to reporting. Right? So these two new features are analytics features built into the entire platform. Standard events to understand what to track and how to analyze it. Remote settings, which allows you to act on those insights and make changes faster than ever possible. They're all built on the analytics platform, which, as you saw, is deeply integrated into Unity. Any programmer of any level, even non-programmers, can use our platform to get insights. We've built it just for your game development purposes, and it supports all the platforms you want to be on. It's been an incredible journey here in Korea. We announced this specific platform last year, and the tremendous response has been heartwarming. We've had 433, NEWAs, all come on board right from the start, and the adoption over the year has been incredible. Over 10,000 Korean-built games on Unity are now live with Unity Analytics, a 250% growth in just 1 year. And we couldn't be more proud to be alongside with you. So before I go, I also wanted to show you another feature that's coming out of beta. We call it Unity Collaborate. It is fantastic. It allows your entire team to work together on one set of code, share it, sync it, make sure that you get the full productivity out of everyone on your team. And it's available to you as well. Go out to the booth, talk more, ask questions if you want to learn more. Unity Analytics specifically, if I forgot to mention, is free to use for everybody, right? Every feature that I mentioned, the product itself, available to everyone. Just come to this website and we can make it available for you. All right? Thank you very much.